Alright. Let's see if we can find the stream. Hopefully it isn't too far away. See if the stream's up. Let's check this in case. I don't see anything popping up. Says we are live. Let me make sure audio is working, of course. Yep, audio is working. Okay, cool. Just, yep, we'll be getting ready to go very shortly, of course. Just getting the stream up a little early, obviously. And once we get going, we'll get going very shortly. 15 car field, not too shabby, I suppose. I'm not sure if we have any more people that are going to be arriving, but let's check the chat and see if there's anybody that is missing. I don't really have the access to the attendance, but let's take a look at your chat. And there's also the YouTube side of things. Perfect. Oh, go away. I don't know why that's still a thing. The voice chat suspended. I will never understand that, but whatever. Alright, looks like everyone's all ready up. Once we fade to black, we'll go ahead and give out the introduction. Alright. Alright, well hello everyone and welcome to round 10 of the Golden Clash Championship here on TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. I'm K1997, your lead commentator for this race, and this time we are racing at the Suzuka International Racing Course for the Japanese Grand Prix. Also known as probably one of the few tracks as well to go in a figure 8, and also one of the few tracks as well to go into a clockwise sort of style track. This track was first introduced back in, I believe it was in 1962 was when it first opened, and then it would open up to Formula 1 in 1987, as of known to this day being the current circuit that holds the Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, it didn't host that back in 2007, and 2008 it was held actually at Fuji International Speedway. But yes, this is, like I mentioned, this is one of the few tracks that goes in a clockwise formation, and also one of the few tracks that goes in a figure of 8. There's a lot of technical sections and a lot of area of track that you have to be very mindful of. First of which, of course, are the S's of turns 3 to 7, leading up from the uphill section into the Dunlop curve of turn 7, and then leads into the right-handers of the Degner curve of turn 8, and then to the hard right-hander of turn 9. There are some overtaking spots as well. Turn 1, I Actually, forgot to mention that. Turn 1 is also one of the overtaking spots on the racetrack. Turn 11 is another one as well, also known as the Kobayashi hairpin. If you remember that one race back in 2010 where he made 5 overtakes on that one particular hairpin alone. And of course, so you got the spoon curve of turns 13 to 14. That can be a pretty not technical section that the drivers will have to be keep in mind. You can either cost you time or you can actually get good acceleration out of there, which will then lead you into what could be an overtaking spot if you are ballsy in some sense. 130R, which is at turn, which is at turn 15. Yeah, of course, some famous moments have happened there. It's more particular, 2005, with Fernando Alonso going around the outside of Michael Schumacher at that particular section. And then, of course, the famous area bit of track, I think, the Casio Triangle. Well, I say famous because in 1989, of course, with Senna and Prost. I mean, turn 1, of course, is another one in 1990 Japanese Grand Prix. But, yeah, the drivers will have to be mindful of all the technical section of track. Not a lot of runoff area, so the drivers will have to be careful of that. It's just a lot of gravel and grass, basically. So, yeah, there's no room for error, basically. And as you can see as well, it is wet weather conditions here at Suzuka. I think this is the first time I've seen Golden Class do a qualifying session in wet weather conditions, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here tonight. Now, before we go fully focusing on qualifying, there is some news to go through. First, from the previous race at Monza, there were 3 incidents that were reported from last week's feature and main race. If you remember, that was the feature race where they did a one-shot qualifying and a 5-lap race. After that, then a main race. Whisper got a 5-second time penalty on license point. Oh, sorry. No, that was Segrist. I take that back. He got a 5-second time penalty and a license point. Ben Swerven, though, was given a 5-second penalty and a license point for forcing a car off the track. That was in the main race. And Whisper was given a 10-second time penalty and 2 license points for a safety car race restart infringement. But doesn't matter on the results. They stay as they are, pretty much. In the Drivers' Championship, it's currently GTR Lion that's leading the way on 162 points, followed by his teammate Remsley in second on 141 points. 21 points separating the 2 Alpines at the moment, who are currently dominating the Constructors' table, which I'll get to in a second. Raikkonen is in third with 103 points, followed by Case in fourth with 57, and then Rockstar rounds out the top 5 with 54 points. Constructors table, like I mentioned just a second ago, Alpine are leading the way on 303 points. Then it's Haas with 140 points. Then in third is Aston Martin with 95, Alfa Romeo fourth with 94, and Williams rounds it off with 77 points. That's it in terms of news. We can now fully focus now into qualifying, into what will be, like I said, a wet weather session. And just to confirm that, oh, actually, no. One driver actually is opting to do intermediates, and that's Kluka in the AlphaTauri. But no, everyone else is on the wet weather tires. But Kluka's not out just quite yet, as you can see. He's still in the pit lane. There are yellow flags that's for that car getting out of the way. Oh, hello. Speaking of which, that was an AlphaTauri. I think that was Zionico that has gone out of the way there. I thought for a brief moment I saw a bit of debris, but I guess not. He's on an outlap at the moment. There is Kluka, speaking of which. He is on the intermediate tire, which is very interesting because it's not even close to intermediate conditions. Yeah, as you can see, he's the only one on that leaderboard that was on the intermediate tire. Let's see here. Zionicle will be getting ready to start flying lap. There are yellow flags. That looks like for an Alfa Romeo. I want to say that's Cakes, I think, there. Yeah, it's just him getting out of the way. Tell you what, it's been swerving, goes to the top, starts off with a 142.8. Right along with oh, jeez! Zionicle keeps the car on the road. Gee whiz. That was a way to start off the lap. We'll run along with him anyway, as he makes his way down the main straight towards turn 1. Brings it down to 4th gear. Got to be very careful, of course. You're in wet weather conditions. Brings it down to 3rd gear. Modulates the throttle. Oh, the back end does not, the back end does not want to cooperate through there. Through the S's now of turns 4 and 5. Turn 6 kind of misses the apex just a little bit. And now into the Dunlop curve of turn 7. Up and over the crest, uses the curve on the outside. As he now makes his way up towards the Dana curve. Dana curve there of turn 8. I forgot there's just one Dana curve. Now turn 9, and then underneath the bridge, heading up towards now turn 10 and turn 11, the Kobayashi hairpin. Brings it down to 2nd gear. Hard on the brakes, hugs the inside apex, but didn't really get the best run, I'd say, out of that Kobayashi hairpin. His car is still skidding about as well. Around 200R, and now into Spoon Curve. Turn 13 and 14. Aston Martin, they're getting out of the way. Very nicely done. As he makes his way around there. Remsley goes to the top with a 1 minute 40.4. Clobbering Ben Swarming stop by nearly 2 seconds. And there's his teammate following suit behind with a 141 flat. Now into 130R. It's flat in dry conditions, not so much in the wet weather conditions as you just saw from Zionico. As he now makes his way through the Castillo Triangle. And then out to the final corner now. Back onto the main straight. Zionico across the line just at a 141.989. Will put himself into 3rd position for now. And I see also Remsley is now back into the PC side. Yeah, from the previous races I've commentated, he's always been on Xbox. Now he's on the PC side. Raikkonen right now. Oh, gee whiz. Raikkonen's car was nearly sideways if I've ever seen one there. That thing was tail fishy there. Tail happy, I should say. Tail fishy. I don't know where I come up with that. There's his teammate Cam Luca. Kluka, his brother, still on the intermediate tire. How on earth is he? Why is he on the intermediate tires? I'll never understand that. As Shogun decided to put up an interesting line there at 130R. Now, if you also want to know why some of these scorers have the letter R at the end of the numbers, it's basically to the degree of radius of the corner. So you got 200R and then 130R. That's just basically its degree radius. It's quite unique, I will say that. Raikkonen goes to the 7th position with a 42.8. Shogun did a 43.0, and I think that was Rizzi that did a 42.5. Remsley goes to the top again, or actually improves on his time. Not by much, though, only 61 thousandths to a 1 minute 40.425. Lying, though, his teammate, though, is still just a little bit behind, but only by 3.5 tenths, a little bit less than 3.5 tenths behind his teammate. Carson making his way out of the Castillo Triangle, up by 6.5 tenths. I don't think there'll be enough, though, to challenge one of the Alpines. It will challenge those Ionical for 3rd position with a 141.652. Oh, hello, then that's Zionical taking out the 100-meter board and 50-meter board as well. As he's also out of fuel, he's got a car behind. Hopefully he can get out of the way. Yeah, you can see he's got the solid red icon. That tells you that he is out of fuel. Yeah. That's not fun to deal with that. I know what that's like. It's not fun at all when that happens. Pilot goes to 12th with a 149.244. Nerd, meanwhile, is making his way out of turn 9. Heading up towards the... great catch. There by the Merc. As he now makes his way around the Kobayashi hairpin of turn 11. Yeah, dearie me, he nearly put that thing into the barriers. Someone just improved that. I think that was Shogun. Going to 5th with a 42.090. That's now beaten by Raikkonen with a 142.018. And Remsley has further improved his time there with a 1 minute 40.171. Lai, though, is not improving on his time, so he will try again. Of course, a lot of these drivers, I imagine, are probably using quite a bit of fuel in their cars. Obviously, just to get the feel of the car set up. That's kind of the typical thing you do in qualifying. I don't know what the weather will be for the main for the race, but we'll wait and see. Raikkonen, though, is not improving on his time. He's down by just over a tenth and a half. Shogun doesn't really look like he's on a very fast lap, if I'm totally honest. So Charles, definitely not on a lap at all. He's going back into pit lane. That's Kluka and Camden Luca. Funny enough, the two Lucas are close to one another. Yeah, Camden Luca, of course, being behind Kluka, being the silver class driver. Let's see here. How's Shogun doing? Where is he at here? He's down by 0.8 of a second. Not really improving on his time. Rizzy, though, is improving on his time. He's up by 0.2 of a second as there's a Haas that spins right in front of him. Deary me. Was that Raikkonen? Oh, I think that was Raikkonen getting out of the way. Or spinning there. As Rizzy's up by 0.6 of a second to the middle sector. Oh, with that sort of improvement, he could challenge maybe close to the top 4. If he can get a good final sector, he can challenge for P3 of Carson. Rizzy crosses the line, will set, so 1 minute 41.994. Only misses out by, oh geez, that's about 0.05 of a second between Rizzy and Zionical, who is on an outlap as I speak. Ramsey's back into pit lane. Lioness looks like he's going for another. I don't think he will be that time now, as I also think he's destroyed his front wing. Has he? Yes, he has. He's got a missing end plate on the right-hand side of his car. He must have done that on the final corner, I'm going to guess. See, is Rizzy improving on his time? No, he's not. He's down by 1/10 of a second. Raikkonen's on a fine lap, I believe. Camden Luca has yet to set a lap time. There's his brother behind of Kluka, as they make their way through the S's of turns 4, 5. Now it's a turn 6, and then it's a turn 7. Yellow flies at sectors 1 and 3. That looks like an Alpine is getting out of the way there of a McLaren. That would be GTR line, considering he's the only car out on track. Again, more sector 3 yellow flags, but now that's cleared. They make their way up towards the Kobayashi hairpin, does Camden Luca. Not the greatest entry, and not the greatest exit either. I think he had a bit of a lock-up there. As Ida calls out of the qualifying session, he's crashed the Dunlop curve. Arrive at the scene, there's the car there, right side of the track. Puts it straight into the barriers. And that is qualifying done and dusted for the AlphaTauri driver. That's quite unfortunate there. Pilot I see also is rocking the Carlos Sainz Monza helmet, considering he's on a Red Bull. Camden Luca is not going to continue on that lap. He's invalidated, but his brother Kluka is going to finish this lap. Locked up a little bit there. I did notice a little bit of a real lockup from the AlphaTauri car. As it makes his way out of the final corner now, back onto the main straight. We'll cross the line to set a 1:43.553 ahead of Pilot. Lion will go back into pit lane. Of course, with a damaged front wing, he's not going to improve. Carson and the Williams will get ready to go for another run as he makes his way out of the final corner, or out of the Casio Triangle, now out of the final corner, and then back onto the main straight. Well, along with him, I guess. See what he can do. Actually, we'll also keep our eyes on Segrist. Oh, never mind. He's down by a second. Ben swerving those up by half a second. As meanwhile, Carson is making his way out of turn 2 and now into the S's of turn 3, turn 4, and turn 5. Everyone's still on the wets. I do see Rensley on the inter, so maybe the conditions are going to improve in some cases. We'll wait and see what happens as Carson makes his way out of Dunlop curve towards the end of the first sector. The clock says he's up by nearly 0.2 of a second to the first sector. GTR Lions also going on to that tire as well, the intermediates, as Segrist has crashed at turn 2. Where is Rizzy? There he is there. Well, his car was around this area. He must have had a bit of wheel spin at the exit of turn 2 and then put the car in the barriers. So that's his qualifying done. Yeah, see a few other drivers are going on to the interiors. So yeah, I reckon the conditions are going to improve. We'll see if Carson, though, decides to go on forward with this lap or if he wants to go in for intermediates. It's going to be touch and go, though, if he gets in now. He's also down by 2 thousandths of a second. Ben Swerven did improve by 8 tenths to 141.8. So yeah, the conditions are starting to improve here in Suzuka. Let's see if Carson does make his way back into pit lane. No, he does not. He decides to keep going the lap. He'll cross the line to set a 141.120. Stays at P3, but yeah, still a long, long way behind these two. Oh, hello! That's a Spain AlphaTauri of Kluka. Out of turn 2 he spun. Has he got damaged too? I did see a bit of debris. No, that might have been from when Segrist crashed, I think, I should say. Yeah, no, he spun, it looks like. So, yeah, lap is looking like it's completely ruined. Alright, so we got 5 drivers on the Inters, both Alpines, both Alfa Romeos, and Raikkonen. That's it. No one else is on the intermediate tires apart from those 5. As we got more yellow flags at sector 2. That might be... hang on. Is that for Kluka or is that for Carson? That might have been for either one of those two, I'm going to guess. Rizzi has invalidated the lap time. I think that's qualifying done. There's no way he's going to go further forward. That's quite unfortunate there. Oh, I think... oh dear. Well, it seems like I've lost connection in the YouTube side of things. But the Twitch is still going, so we'll keep going with that. Interesting. Alright, Remsley will start what will be his final flying lap, and same with his teammate behind. Carson is going to have to bail on this, so he's not going to go further forward into qualifying. Ben swerving on flying lap. Oh, as he wiggles the car there. Yeah, Rizzi is definitely done. Raikkonen, we'll see what he can do. He's also on the intermediate tires. We'll keep our eyes on him. As the clock's now hit 000, so that will be their final flying laps coming. A little lawn mowing there from, I think, from Camden. There at the S's. Alright, Remsley, let's see what he can do to the first sector. Clock says for the Alpine. He's up by just about a tenth and a half. GTR line is up by nearly 3.5 tenths. And he's also purple to the first sector. What about Raikkonen? He's up by, looks like that, is that correct? Well, there you go. He's up by 0.6 of a second to the first sector. Alright, we'll keep our eyes on Raikkonen. Maybe he will definitely improve. I could definitely see this being more the top 4 if we get, if we can get that. Being the intermediate runners. The Alpines are definitely going to be locked in, I know, towards the front. But let's see what they can do. A little bit of a tow I see here from the Merc of Shogun, as Remsley is up by 6.5 tenths. But Shogun is right in front of the Alpine. Gonna hamper his lap a little bit, but gets out of the way. Very nicely done. Sir Charles improves to 5th with 141.5. Oh, Remsley! Deary me, skids the back end, but he improves. 139.4. Does his teammate beat him? The answer is no. He misses out by just over 2.5 tenths. Lyon only stays in P2. And Raikkonen only stays in 5th, quickest overall. And yeah, just like that, that's qualifying out. Carson actually improved there as well to a 40.7. Still on the wets, but good solid lap on the wet tires to fair credit, but still remains in 3rd. Ben Swerven moving up to 4th. Raikkonen 5th. Sir Charles getting demoted to 6th. Cyanical, of course, had to be demoted to 7th after crashing out in qualifying. And yeah, I think that is qualifying done and dusted. Remsley on pole position once again. And it's another Alpine lock up here on the front row. With Remsley leading the way, Lyon in 2nd position. Ahead of the championship leader. Remsley ahead of the championship leader. Yep. Carson 3rd, followed by Ben, Raikkonen, Sir Charles, Rizzi, Cakes, Shogun, Nerd, Seagrass, Pilot, Camden, Camden, and Kluka. Yeah, I wonder what happened on the stream there, because for whatever reason it's not. Yeah, yeah. The Twitch is fine, but it's not the YouTube side of things. It's apparently something went up. Here, I'm gonna ping this to. Ah, okay. Well, thanks for the weather update there, Charles. So it's full wet conditions for the entire race. Oh, we're gonna have a long one. All right, well there you go. That's your order for from the qualifying session. Remsley on pole, Lyons second, Alpine front row, Carson, Ben Swerven, Raikkonen, Sir Charles, Ionical, Rizzy, Case, Shogun, Nerd, Seagrass, Pilot, Camden, and Kluka. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and message Camden about the. Yeah, I just want to make sure that he gets the heads up on that. And I think there's also no formation lap on this. According to what Camden said in the group chat, so that's at least good to know that. Yeah, from what it looks like, doesn't look very heavy compared to what it was in qualifying. It looks like it's intermediate conditions, judging by how the rain looks in terms of how heavy it is. Yeah, maybe, hopefully, Camden got the message. But I understand he also needs to focus on what he needs to do, too. That's alright. I mean, at least the Twitch is still running. That's the main thing. Yeah, at least we've got a stream, so yeah. Yeah, just waiting on, of course, on Camden to give the signal, to give the go, since of course he is the coordinator for Golden Glass. We'll get going shortly. I can see a car on the main straight kind of bobbing a little bit. I don't know if that's just me or anything, but looks a bit funny. And that's one of the AlphaTauris there. I can see. I think it's seeing AlphaTauri like porpoising itself on the starting grid. Alright. Alright, he says it should be back up now. I'm gonna go check and see. I still don't see it. Yeah, apologies. We're just having a bit of technical difficulties right now. Yeah, nothing's come up. Yeah, the only thing that's right is the Twitch side. But yeah, nothing on the YouTube side. Nothing yet, at least. Do. Oh, shoot. Come on. Give me a second. I'll just double check and make sure Twitch. Yep, Twitch is still doing fine. Yeah, okay. That's easier said than. Alright, so yeah, Safe Race just said on the commentators lounge that we'll just move it, upload it to YouTube. You can do that, of course. Just upload it to YouTube once we're done. It happens, so it's okay. Just a bit of technical difficulties, but yeah. Alright, well hopefully Camden got that message and we'll get going shortly. Yeah, it's been a bit of a little bit of a wait, but yeah, I had to mention that the YouTube side of things just kind of went down. But yeah, Twitch is still fine. Alright, well here we go. 5 red lights to commence here for the Japanese Grand Prix, a wet Japanese Grand Prix, and we are underway here at Suzuka. It's a nice start by Remsley as they make their way up towards the first corner, a little bit shuffling behind towards the rear of the field, 4 wide towards the back as they now make their way towards turn 1, and Carson goes onto the curb and runs wide at turn 2, loses 3 spots there, gets pushed off onto the grass there at turn 2. Cars going shuffling about there as they make their way through the S section. Raikkonen moving up to 3rd, Zionical up to 4th, Ben swarming up to 5th, along with Nerd right behind in 6th position. I see intermediates for quite literally about everybody. Yep, the intermediate conditions, so we don't really need the tire graphic. Alpine's though already starting to pull away. It's now 1.1 seconds separate between Lyon and Raikkonen. Out of turn 9, as they now make their way up towards the Kobayashi hairpin for the first time in racing conditions. Ben swerving to the outside of Zionical. Outside move it to turn 11. Nicely done. Actually, no, I might have spoke too soon. He still hasn't made the move quite done. Now he's got the move done. He's now up into 4th position. Nicely done from Ben swerving. Great job. And gave each other plenty of room and made it work. Oh, Nerd goes way, way too deep. Gets back on the track. A few other cars behind going way too deep there at Spoon Curve. Side by side, Cakes and Segrist. Segrist dropping down like a stone, down to 11th position as they now make their way down the back straight away towards 130R for the first time in racing conditions. Oh, McLaren looking a little bit fancy there, but cannot find a way anyway through. And it can't really do too much through these sort of conditions. Oh, Segrist goes way too deep, locks up and cuts the track a little bit. Kind of does a bit of an impression of what Verstappen did, and a car goes off the road. That's C. Rizzi, and I think Cakes went off as well at the Casio Triangle. Shogun also trying to overtake Camden Luca down the main straight for to complete the first lap. Oh, goodness me, I couldn't even say my proper sentence there. Apart from that little bit of drama, it looks like everyone's still in one piece. That's at least the main thing here. But Remsley leads the way. 9/10 of a second separating between himself and his teammate. Raikkonen, though, is a long, long way back from Lyon. He's got some work to do. He wants to try to catch up. There's the pit strategy there for the intermediates. Lap 13 or 20. Okay, we'll keep our eyes on that. See if anyone does a one-stop or if they try to let it go for a no-stop. Through the Kobayashi hairpin. So Charles right behind Nerd. Of course, they got a little bit of a pack. Carson, though, starting from 3rd, he's down to 6th position. After running wide at turns 1 and 2, using the outside curve, but unfortunately used way too much. Uncle gets a fair. Gee whiz, Uncle got a lot of grip at the exit of that corner at Spoon. Here comes Ben, right behind Raikkonen, up towards the Casio triangle. Does he go for a move? No, he does not. Stays behind the Haas car to make their way through the triangle. Out of the far corner, now back onto the main straight. As Remsley sets fastest up with a 139.3. Not close enough to do anything just quite yet, but I do see here Carson lining up a move here on Zionical into turn one. He's going to go the outside into turn one. Nicely done by the Williams driver. Fantastic move. That was well committed. That's hard to do in wet weather conditions, but he made it work. He's up to 5th position now. He's got 2 more places to get back where he was. Still got a bit of work to do, though. He needs to catch up to Ben and Raikkonen. Raikkonen, though, yeah, he's lost touch of the Alpines. The Alpines are just gone at this point. Look at that, 3 seconds separate GTR Lion and Raikkonen. They're just literally gone. They're in their own little world at this point. Out of the Kobayashi hairpin. And down towards 200R. Rizzi and Kluka exchanging places as Rizzi moves ahead into 13th. Ahead of the Alpha Tauri. Remsley, Lion, out of Spoon. See if Lion will have any sort of interest. Look at the barrier situation. Lion's got plenty. Same with Remsley. They're all perfectly squared on battery. Almost perfectly squared. Rizzi gets the first penalty of the race. A 3-second time penalty. Swerving looking. He cannot commit there to Casio triangle. Has to stay behind there at turn 16. Yeah, cannot really do anything through there. Rocking to try and break the toe from the McLaren. He's coming quick. Not quick enough though. Has to stay behind. But goes a little bit wide. Haas stays in front. I honestly thought initially that Raikkonen might have would have lost that spot, but no, he does not. Meanwhile, oh my goodness me, Nern and Sir Charles, although they both got squirrely there at turn 4, or turn 5 rather. Came perilously close to ending in some sort of accident. The Daniels. There's also Camden Luca. Oh, I think he missed the apex quite badly there. Saw a bit of a lockup, resulting in him going a bit too wide there at turn 9. Doesn't cost him too much time, but still did cost him a bit. It's now nearly 1 second separating the top two. 9/10. It's been hovering there for about some time. We'll get rid of that for now. See if Swervin can find any sort of run. Of course, like I said, it's a bit difficult to do anything when you're in these sort of conditions. You don't really have anywhere to overtake. You gotta get a good run and not do that. Not make a mistake out of the final corner. Not like what Zyarkle just did. Not slipstream, but again, he just doesn't. He's just not close enough. Oh, he will be now, as Nerd makes a big error there at turn 1. There he goes. Pretty much just gift wrapped to him at turns 1 and 2 and says, yeah, thank you, I'll take 6th place away. The Zion moves up to 6, Nerd down to 7th place. And now he's got Sir Charles for company. Yeah, very easy to make some sort of mistake like that. It's just because the car can bottom out on these curves. Some of these curves, at least, are quite tall. Oh! Oh, my goodness me, Nerd. Great catch. Keeps the car in one piece. Yeah, turn 9's another curve that kind of gets your car a little bit bottomed out if you're not careful. Rizzy and Pilot exchanging places at 200R. Rizzy moves up to 12th position ahead of him. As Pilot goes wide, and actually no, Rizzy went wide, I'm sorry. Rizzy went wide and Pilot moved through. See if he has any sort of response here. That Red Bull's got some speed out down the straights. My goodness. Pulled about a 10th in that straight alone. Oh! Bit late on the brakes. Well, they get through in one piece. As now Cakes gets ahead of Kluka. That is for 14th. Meanwhile, though, top two, 7.5 tenths. It was a second couple laps ago. It's now kind of shrunk a little bit. What hasn't, though, is the gap between second and third. It's still growing. 5.3 seconds separating these two. That being Lion and Raikkonen. Raikkonen, though, has swerving still for company, but hasn't really had enough momentum to get close. Carson isn't too far away either. So this is a genuine battle for third between these three. Meanwhile, we got a 4-car train led up by Nerd just in front of this whole train. Then you got Sir Charles, then Segrist and Raiden Shogun making their way through 200R. Now up towards Spoon Curve. Shogun looked like he was going to go for something there, but just wasn't close enough to get ahead of Segrist. Of course, there is no DRS, of course, because of these sort of conditions. Yeah, you can't use DRS when it's raining, although I've seen instances where it has happened. Raikkonen has gone off at the Casio Triangle. He spun the car around. Did he get tagged by Ben swerving, or did he do that on his own? Well, he's dropped down to 10th position now, right behind Rain Shogun and ahead of his teammate. Raikkonen was in a podium spot, and now that's pretty much just wiped away. Yellow flags at sector 3. That is for Kluka at the exit of the Casio Triangle. No damage from what I can see on Ben's car. And no damage from what I can see on Carson's car. But yeah, from the way that Raikkonen's car was positioned, I kind of reckon he was helped by Ben. I think. But I didn't quite catch it. But if there is an incident report, that will be going to the storage room. Meanwhile, the McLaren defending against the Mercedes there of Rain Shogun. Segrist trying to find the traction. It seems like Shogun has more of that. Inside move at 200R. Car looks quite understeer, if I'm totally fair, from the McLaren. Throws a bit of grass as well. And runs wide. Still keeps the car on track at least. Yeah, so pretty much we've now gone from a 4-car fight now to a 6-car fight for 6th position. Jeez, Nerd, that was a bit taily. Not a great run, I'm totally fair. Here comes Sir Charles. The Mercedes will defend as hard as he can. He definitely has the legs on the straight, and he defends quite... Ooh. Parks it a bit. Still parking it, but he stays in front for 6th place. Yeah, kind of parked the bus, literally. I don't think that was by intention, though. I think that's just because of the conditions, the way he was doing that. That is also why he was doing that, because of the conditions. Sliding about there at the S's, almost like a rally car, pretty much. I know the WRC goes to Japan, but it doesn't go to Suzuka. Charles down the inside at turn 11. Contact on the rear left tire. The Mercedes still stays in front. Round 200R. Here comes the other Mercedes here. Rain Shogun off the grass. And Segrist goes through. 8th position for him. That almost went quite messy. Excuse me, a little bit messy. And Nerd started to pull away. Jeez, he does have some straight line speed. Right now, one of the closest battles we've got on track. We do have a couple others, but they're a little bit apart from each other. I was gonna say miles apart from each other. I mean, we do have groups that have formed. And no one really in a position to do anything, at least. Not from what I could tell. Raikkonen is just still stuck behind the Mercedes. Well, let's take a look and see what's going on with the top two. Still doing their own business there. 9.3 seconds separated between Remsley, Lyon, and Carson. Or sorry, Lyon and Carson's. It's the gap between those two. It's about over 10 seconds between Carson and Remsley. Now it's a second separating between Carson and Lyon. 10.5 seconds. Cameron Luca gets a penalty as well. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That must have happened, I think, at the second... I was going to say second Dana. No, turn 9. Turn 9's not the second Dana. There's no 2 Danas. It's just 1. Right. 6th and 7th. Close. 6.5 tenths between Nerd and Sir Charles. Making their way down towards 130R. It looks like Camden's also fallen back as well, so now it's become a 5-car fight for 6th position. Ramsley's now starting to pull the gap a little bit between himself and Lyon. It's now 1.3 seconds. Oh, that was not a very good run there by Charles. Here comes Segrist. Slipstream. Looking inside. Comes the McLaren. He's going to commit. Gives him plenty of room there, the Aston Martin. As they make their way up towards the S's. There's content. There's no way they can go through there. Oh, I knew that was going to end in tears. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, there was no way that was going to work. Someone also tagged Segrist while he was spinning. I didn't quite catch who that was. Someone else did tag him. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work. That might have been Raikkonen, I think. That might have tagged him. Because I did notice he's dropped down now behind Rizzi and Pilot. He must have suffered damage. Can I see a proper angle there, game, please? No, he's got a front wing still. But his car doesn't look very good in terms of how it was going through some of the corners. I reckon he's got a little bit of damage. I reckon he's got like light damage. Yeah, I don't know why those two were going to go, so I decided to do that. I mean, really, if I'm totally honest, I think... Oh! Jeez, Charles is definitely being ballsy for sure. Yellow flags at sector 3, sector 2. That's for Kluka that stopped in the middle of the track. Gets the car pointing in the right direction at least. Shogun overtakes Sir Charles. That's for 7th place. They're at turn 1. Yeah, I know I'm not a steward, I'm a commentator, but I kind of would put that more as a racing incident, what happened between Sir Charles and Segrist. Because, yeah, that normally does not work, especially in these sort of conditions. Yeah, going side by side through the S's, yeah, it just doesn't really work. Alright, well, fourth position battle. Bionicle then swerving. Yellow flies in sector 3, sector 2, sorry. Virtual safety car has been deployed. That's because of Segrist. He must have spun and got, yeah. I was going to say he got damaged, but he's actually not just got damaged, he's got no front wing at all. And Carson's going to go and pit. Ooh! Pull the car off at least. Bionicle's in 2, same with Nerd. So they're going to go pitting on for fresh intermediates. Sir Charles, oh, pull it. There you go, pulled it up. Just in time. Alright. Yep, new intermediate tires on the go for, looks like for literally everybody. There's Camden also in as well. Intermediate tires on the car and away he leaves. Cakes decides to stay out. Does not want to bother pitting just quite yet. As we're now back in the green. Here at Suzuka. Not very good for anyone that's just came out of that's just got into pit lane as well. That'll cost him a bit of time. Actually, we'll keep this up just to show you who's on the fresher tires. Carson and Zionicle pitted, and so did from 8th to about 15th. Here comes also, here comes Nerd. Trying to get by Cakes there, who did not pit under the VSC. Oh dear, and oh no! Cakes spun in front of the Mercedes. Oh dear, oh dear. No damage at least, that's the fortunate thing. That was just a really, really unfortunate incident for Cakes. Of course, he's not on the fresher rubber, he's on 11 lap old intermediates. Compared to everyone else around him who's on fresher tires. Speaking of that, there's Camden Luca. Right behind him on those tires, the fresh tires. Yeah, just look at the grip. Just no chance. No chance you're going to hold them off. There goes the Haas there, just like that. Up into 9th place. 3 cars also pit as well. Shogun's in, and same with Ben. Have decided to pit. Lion did pit as well on the new intermediate tires. He still stays out in front ahead of Carson and Zionicle. As Charles now rotates Shogun. Same with Luca because, oh, Camden trying to stay in front. He does, just about. It's Raikkonen now. Gets to Cakes, who's now going into pit lane. Alright, well, what will Remsley do here? I mean, surely he's going to have to respond to his teammate. Shogun right behind Camden Luca. Very committed on the brakes, I will say that. He's ready to Shogun. As now Remsley pits. He'll go into pit lane. Get onto a set of intermediates. Now, where is his teammate? He's setting purple middle sectors. That's just lag. I think he's going to stay in front. Here he comes. Exiting pit lane. Oh, yeah, he's comfortably in front. By a healthy margin. Gee whiz. Zionicle, 139.2, sets the fastest lap of the race. It's now 2.7 seconds. Gap I saw before that was like over a second. So, this sort of undercut attempt for line didn't necessarily work. I would have thought it would have, but no, it didn't. Not even. Yeah, let's start spread out, but we do have a battle brewery in here. Shogun and Camden Luca. They make their way around Dunlop curve, up towards now the Dana curve, and then turn 9. Turn 9 heading up towards the hairpin, the Kobayashi hairpin. A bit of correction there, more correction. This is a bit of time there to Shogun. Yeah, it seemed like everyone's sort of spread out now. We had close battles here and there in certain groups, and now it's kind of sort of spread out. Zyonical, though, however, is not too far away from Carson. It's about 1.3 seconds separating these two. Good chance we could see a battle between these two, I reckon. As Lion sets the fastest lap with a 138.5. Heading up towards now turn 1. Not close enough to do anything here, obviously. We'll put up the battery life. 52% for Zyonical, 45%. And also, Carson's also low on fuel. You see the yellow icon there on the telemetry. That yellow icon means that he has underfueled the car below his target. So he needs to be careful here with this fuel situation. I'm sure he'll get the fuel up once we go further and further into the race because of the intermediate conditions. And if I remember correctly, I don't think Suzuka burns fuel. I know there's like several tracks that burn fuel in a rapid rate of knots, but yeah. Here's Red Shogun on Sir Charles. Mercedes and Aston Martin. Yeah, kind of feeling like a typical wet weather race. Yeah, the only big things that's happened so far is just a bit of drama here and there. That's literally about it. But other than that, we haven't really had too much stuff, really. As Remsley sets the fastest lap with a 137.8. That dude is flying out there. He's led every lap so far and has got the fastest lap. He keeps it up, he'll get the Grand Slam. Pretty much been the Alpine Golden class, if you want to say that, considering how the championship is between these two. So far, it's Lion that's leading it by, what was it again, about 20 points separating the two? 21 points. Yeah, 162. Yellows, that's Kluka, that's Spun. He's beached, yep, yeah, okay. Yeah, he was beached on the curb. I will accept that. Yeah. His car was beached on the curb there. There was just nothing he could do. That's totally fair. Yeah, the only times I will accept anyone restarting the track is if they get beached on a curb. Or beached somewhere on track, like where they can't physically do anything. Yeah, because anytime that happens, if you don't reset yourself to track whilst you're beached on, whilst you're beached on a curb, yeah, the car, the game will disqualify you. Alright, as I said before, we do have a battle for third on our hands between Carson and Zyonical. As they make the way through the triangle, the Casio triangle. Oh, that's a bit twitchy there as well from Carson. Nothing doing there. Meanwhile, though, here comes, we might get a position change here. Sir Charles is about to be overtaken by Ray and Shogun. Yep, literally nothing he could do. That sheer speed of the Merc just zooms by. Up to P7. As we now make the way through the turn. Oh, that's a bit too much curve there from Zyonical. Pushing quite hard. Needs to be very careful. You don't want to put the car on the wall. The Kobayashi hairpin up towards 200R. In terms of battery life, Zionical's got 60%. Carson, not too far away, only 51%, but like I mentioned, needs to be careful with the field. And Zionical has shot himself in the foot with a 3-second time penalty for running wide at turn 13. That's definitely going to cost him here, for sure. Yeah, that's the one thing you got to be very careful with here at Suzuka. There's not much room for error as well if you get track limit warnings. 5 seconds the margin between the top two. It's been increasing. Ramsley has just been on a masterclass in the wet weather. He proved that back at Silverstone, and again he is proving that here at Suzuka. He is a wet weather master so far. Yeah, I think I've only seen like 2 wet weather races if I am correct. Yeah, Silverstone I probably would say was one of my favorites. Yeah, that race was quite bonkers. I remember it was, who was it again? It was Lyon and then, for goodness sake, who was that Aston Martin that he fought against? Oh yeah, Rockstar. Oh dear, it's Carson has spun! I turn away from to the stream for a brief moment. He spun at turn 9. Swerving's gone through. I was just trying to look up and see who was battling Lion because I was like, oh, who was it again that was in the Aston Martin? No, it ended up being, I know it was Rockstar, but yeah. As I do that, Carson spins at turn 9, but yeah, that's the podium pretty much out the window for him unless he can claw back 3 seconds. He needs to do that in order to get into range of being Zionical. Like I said, he does have a 3-second time penalty. Gee whiz, Camden is literally trying to push. Saw the car literally just go sideways there at the exit of turn 14. It's been Rizzy going off the road. Stays in front at least, but yeah, it took a very adventurous line there at 130R. That's not the first time I've seen anyone do that. Yellow flags at sectors 1 and 3. Who's that for? Oh, that might explain it. That was Pilot. He must have done something at the final corner, because now he's been overtaken by Raikkonen. And Raikkonen is swerving. Was there an incident between those two, I'm guessing? I'm gonna guess there was something that happened between those two, because, yeah, normally when someone weaves like that, that kind of indicates to you that either A, that I'm sorry, or B, what the hell are you doing? Six seconds is the margin between Zionical and Ben. That is Kluka, if you're wondering who that ghosted car is. He's a lap down. He's about 1 minute and 5 seconds behind Cakes. And Carson's now shot himself in the foot. A 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And meanwhile, whilst I've been looking at some of the battles, Ramsley has still increased his lead. It's now 8.5 seconds. Separate between himself and Lyon. Yeah, he has been on a tear in this race. No, an absolute class of a drive so far. Charles in a battle with Shogun. Won't be close enough really to do, yeah, it won't be close enough to do anything here to turn 1. Rain's still going, as you can see here at Suzuka. Hasn't lightened up or anything in terms of the track going dry. Still slowly coming down. Yeah, so anyone if that has a chance of getting Zionkel's third place spot, it's really Ben Swerve, because right now he doesn't have a penalty to his name. He needs to gain about 2.5 seconds in order to get in range of the AlphaTauri driver. Charles not quite close to overtake there at turn 11. Kobayashi hairpin. 9 seconds the margin between the top two as well. It's still been increasing. Turn 14. Also, I actually failed to mention Sir Charles is also low on fuel. You can see with the yellow fuel icon. Charles not quite close enough to attack the Merc there into turn. Ooh. Well, he won't be now. Had a bad run out of the Casio Triangle. Case is out of the race. He's crashed at Spoon. We've got a safety car. A safety car has been deployed. A safety car has come out with 7 laps to go. This has now changed the complexion of this race. Oh, where Segrist gets a drive-through. Spin under the safety car, and he's going to crawl back into pit lane. Oh, well, that's his race over. That race was going to help him, but unfortunately, now he shot himself in the foot. As Raikkonen pits, and same with Pilot. Segrist elects to pit, but it looks like he's still going to keep going. Oh, now he does. I thought he wasn't going to initially. He was stationary. Alright, well, what do the leaders do here then? Do they pit for a new set of insers, or do they stick it out? I mean, Raikkonen Pilot's situation is obvious. I mean, it's like, what do you got to lose? I mean, Segrist, yeah, he had the same idea, but unfortunately he sped on the safety car because of the delta. Yeah, like, when I got to him, he was crawling, but I bet you that delta was, like, way, way above the negative. Oh, Lyons coming in. Oh, pull the car up! He takes up the speed limit board. Poor 80 kph board, it's gone. Ramsey, though, stays out. I am intrigued by that. Zionkel's in too, and gets a 5-second penalty for speeding. Well, he shot himself even more in the foot. Ben Swervin, though, elects to stay out. Carson elects to come in. Nerd decides to stay out. Oh dear. So now Ben's up to 3rd position. Oh, this is gonna hurt Remsley, from what it looks like. Because his teammate pitted for fresh insers. Camden's in as well. Rizzy's in as well. Same with Charles. As Kluka again is spun. This time at the Dunlop curve. Oh, jeez. Yep, and the Merc just gets an illegal overtake because Kluka got back on the track when the Merc overtook him. Because the game is that idiotic. I think Ramsey's in a bit of a back foot situation. On the back foot, really, in this situation. Lyons kind of getting, I think Lyons been given the golden parachute to actually try to get ahead of his teammate. Yeah, Case retirement there's changed the complexion of the race. Swervin elected to stay out. He's on 9-lap insers. Nerd stayed out on 10-lap insers, and his teammate 9-lap insers. Everyone else, though, behind has pitted for fresh intermediate tires. Zionkel, though, has 8 seconds worth of penalties, as you can see. Carson 3, along with Rizzy, Camden, and then Segrist got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. For exceeding the delta, as you may have saw. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to do. There you go. Yeah, I'll keep that up, but actually no, we'll get rid of it. We just know that the top 5, apart from Lion, are the only ones that did not pit for fresh intermediate tires. Yeah, I feel like Lion's on the back, or Lion's got a great shot of winning this now. His teammate was leading comfortably. 9 seconds was the margin before the safety car came out. And now that we have got one, that whole lead has disappeared. Mind you as well, these two are the main protagonists battling for the championship. It's 21 points separated between Lion and Remsley. As it would stand though, Remsley would cut the deficit a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a tall order now, I feel like, for him, unless he can hang on those tires. If he can, I will be absolutely amazed if he can hold on for that long on those tires. Yeah, Lion isn't the great shot at winning this, but we'll wait and see how this all goes. So yeah, we're gonna get the safety car in. Nope, doesn't look like it. We're gonna go for one more lap. Yeah, because Segrist is way too far away, as you can see on the minimap. He's just coming through 200R. Yeah, he's the only one in this whole path that hasn't caught the queue. Oh, the safety car's in! The safety car is in this lap! Wow, the drama has now ensued! As it just comes in, as they were coming around the final corner, both Alpines are alongside. This is going to be now drama down the main straight. We're back in the green. What on earth is that calling? That is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. They up towards turn 1. Carson on the inside. Zyonical on the outside. Segrist gets a penalty as they now make their way through turns 1 and 2. Everyone trying to shuffle about, getting through at least. A contact between Swervin and Nerd. Contact again. They both spin. Oh no. Again, just like what happened between Sir Charles and Segrist. They both go off this time. And now Pilot goes off the road. They're at the S's at turn 6. What has gone on here on the restart? Chaos has ensued here already. Ramsey did catch his teammate sleeping a bit, but he's now really close. Fresher tires on this Alpine compared to the one in front of him. Carson on the inside of Shogun, this time at the Kobayashi hairpin. Not close enough. Swervin was in the perfect chance for a podium, and now that's all gone. Just like his teammate just spins in the S's. Same area. But they both come worse instead of just one coming off worse. Carson looking inside. Oh, contact. Into the spoon curve. I think he's on the fresh tires if I'm correct. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Shogun's on older tires. Yep, that's the difference there. Goes off the track. Gets overtaken a couple of times there at 130R. And here comes Zionical to the inside here, down the main straight. They're deploying the battery. Carson, though, has the advantage. Zionical cannot do anything there at turn 1. He has to stay behind. Remember, Carson, though, does have 3 seconds worth of pens. Zionical has 8 seconds. He had a 3-second penalty, then a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. So Sir Charles, actually, is in the perfect spot to get the podium here. But he needs to keep within 3 seconds of Carson. Oh, Zionical! Oh, my goodness! Sideways, sideways, sideways again! Off the grass! Still on the grass, low mowing as well! He's off into the grass on the inside. He tried his best to keep the car pointing in the right direction, since it cost him big time, making that big mistake. That car was so taily, you just couldn't keep it stable. Dear, oh dear. I'm sorry for not catching this. Lion's now in the race lead, ahead of his teammate. And unsurprisingly, 2.5 seconds is the margin. Oh, and Pilot goes off the road there. That's at 200R. Face plants into the wall. But yeah, Lion on those fresher tires has taken the race lead. And now Remsley is going to be on the back foot of Carson. But Carson does have a penalty. 2 more laps to go here at Suzuka. Can Carson claim third? Can he hold off for a podium? Sir Charles is definitely not going to get a podium in that sort of case. A 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings going off the road at turn 1. And he's lost time as well. It's 6/10. The margin is so close. Remsley was leading this race. He could not hang on though with those old intermediate tires. And now he's got Carson all over him as well. Lion is just gone at this point. He's now lost cause for Remsley. But can Carson overtake this Alpine? More yellow flags. That's for Ben swerving that spun. Here comes Carson. Is he going to go for it? No, he does not. He goes behind the Alpine. Wisely stays behind. Doesn't want to do anything just quite yet. Oh, there's the loss of grip there from the Alpine. Here comes Carson. Slipstream. Looks right. Outside move. He gets it done. Wow. That was very committed there by Carson. He makes the move work. Made the move work. He's now into second position. But he needs to gain 3 seconds. Camden Luca gets a penalty for multiple warnings. Raikkonen gets ahead of his teammate as Camden goes a little slowly. And Sir Charles is out of the race. He's crashed out, I think. Has he? Where is his car? Where's the car? Where's the car? It's in the pit lane. It's in the pits. I think. I don't see it on track. Why did he do that? Yeah, he's done. I'm shocked by that. But anyway. Yeah, 6 seconds the margin between Lion and Carson. We're on the final lap of this race. Carson needs to build about 3 seconds if he wants to claim second place. He will get the podium no matter what. He's got enough of a gap, I think, to himself and Shogun. But he needs to gain about 2 seconds. He needs a mega final sector, really, if he wants to have any sort of chance of claiming P2. But meanwhile, out in front, though, what looked like it was just going to be P2 solidified for Lion, pitted onto fresh set of intermediate tires under the safety car, has panned out. His teammate stayed out, could not hold on those old intermediate tires. And it's cost him absolutely dearly. But here we are, out of the final corner, or out of the final chicane, now into the final corner. GTR Lion will claim a victory once again, and this time he wins here at Suzuka and will extend his championship lead. Carson will claim third. Remsley will get P2. Alpine 1-2 once again here in Golden Class. Ray and Shogun in fourth. Raikkonen will finish in fifth position along with Camden Luca. C. Rizzi, a good recovery, will finish in seventh after having what was a bit of a subpar race for him, I think. Oh, Raikkonen left. That'll be fixed. Okay. And Ben Swerven will cross the line to P. Well, it should be P10, but yeah, I think Raikkonen, yeah, he didn't necessarily retire. That was just a glitch. It happens anytime someone leaves the session. Yeah, he'll keep that fifth place. He did cross the line. Sugar gets driver of the day. And there you go, another victory for GTR Lion. How about that? Alpine 1-2 once again. If we thought it was going to be the other one, the other Alpine that would claim victory. He looked like he was going to be the best of it, out of anybody. But Lion made the right call, pinning onto the intermediate tires under the safety car, the new intermediates, and well, there you go. Carson, fine race for him. Recovered nicely after whatever happened to him at turn 9. Recovered back up to 3rd and kept it. But yeah, Lion wins, Remsley 2nd, Carson 3rd, and Remsley will also claim fastest lap. So full complement of points for Alpine. Shogun 4th, nicely done from 10th to 4th, a very good race, finishing 6 positions he gained. With 6 positions he gained. Nice race also for Ken Luca, finishing, I think it was in 6th. That 5th place will be Raikkonen's once we get that all sorted out. Rizzi was in 7th, Zonical 8th, Nerd 9th, and then I think it was Ben Swerven that was in 10th. Outside of that, we have Sir Charles, Kluka, Pilot, Segrist, and Cakes. Round it all off. Wow. That, honestly, yeah, I I don't know what to make of that. It was a bit of a meh race. Then we got the safety car happen. Then a bit of drama ensued here and there. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, but yeah, there you go. Lion wins in the weirdest way, but it's a win nonetheless. Winning here at Suzuka. Alright, well, we're gonna see if we can get them in here. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to join the comms don't join chat. See if anybody wants to join. There we go. Alright, we'll wait and see if anyone wants to join up, of course. Oh. Right. Let's see. Am I in this now? Give me a second. Okay, yep, I'm in here. Perfect. And I've also got the 2 Alpines drivers in here. Alright. So I think we can go and get started. Alright, hopefully I can run this smoothly. I know it's been a bit technical difficulties anytime I do interviews with anyone that's not on the PlayStation side. Alright, anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to it. So, we'll start off with Remsley. Can you, hear me? Hang on, I need to turn my headset. Can you, repeat that one more time? Sorry. Alright. Cool. Well, yeah, where do we start off with this race? Quite interesting in some aspects, but you had a solid, well, it looked like a solid session overall. Yeah, you qualified on pole, and along with your teammate, blocking up the front row. But yeah, it seemed like it was going to be a comfortable win for you until the safety car happened. Why didn't you pit under the safety car when you had the opportunity? Well, I didn't actually know that. If it's been your first season league racing, that's actually quite impressive, considering I've seen how your performances have been so far. But yeah, no, I was just very shocked by that because like you had enough of a gap, I thought, to just go in and yeah try to take advantage of the safety car. But yeah, yeah, it's all right. It happens. You live and you learn. We all make some little errors. Even I do, even though I've been in league racing for a couple of years now. So, but no, sorry. Yeah, no. Apart from that, but yeah, you two were pretty much like, well, until the second stint, but the first stint, you two were quite close to one another until like after the pit stop. I noticed the gap. I think by the time Lion pitted was around 1.5 seconds, I think, or less than that between you two, and then even on older tires, mm, yeah, yeah, and no, that's fair. Hmm? Yeah, you you did. You gained about 1.4 seconds. I remember coming out of the pits, which is actually quite impressive. Oh no, all right. Ah, okay. But yeah, no. But other than that, though, I mean, you still had a great race overall. Apart from that little oops on your part for not pitting during the safety car. But I mean, overall, I thought you had a really good race, and you've kind of shown in the races I've at least commentated so far when it comes to wet weather conditions that you seem to be the wet weather master of it all. Like Silverstone, you won by like 19 seconds, and if this safety car didn't come, you would have won. And I probably would say by like 10 seconds, because yeah, you were just in another league of your own. Mm, yeah, I get you. Ah, okay. That makes some sense. But yeah, going forward, where do we race next? I think we race at Singapore, if I'm correct. Um, yeah. How do you think you'll? No, actually, we go to Australia. That's actually a sprint, actually, too. Okay, so yeah, we head to Melbourne next weekend. So how do you think you will do around there? You think? Mm, mm. Uh, what what about Vegas? Or I mean, I know we haven't gone there yet, but what about Vegas? Mm. Ah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, that's how it is with street circuits. I mean, if you look at Baku, like for example, that's also bad in terms of grip. It shreds your rear tires because of the amount of traction zones you got. I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas it would be the same story in some aspect. But yeah, overall though, congratulations on P2. And yeah, very good race from you overall. Yeah, no worries. And yeah, we'll move on to our race winner, GTR Lion. Yeah, what kind of I kind of point out a bit. It looked like you kind of looked like you were set for P2 from what it looked like. You qualified P2. Of course, you locked at the front row with your teammate. And then yeah, until the safety car came out, you decided to go and pit onto fresh rubber onto fresh intermediate tires, and that paid off. Um, but how was it for you overall at Suzuka, considering you had to deal with the conditions like this for the entire session? Mm, mm. Ah, okay. Mm. Oh. Mm. Yeah. Well, kind of point you kind of point out a lot of stuff then for me. Um. But yeah, I guess that also will give you a bit more confidence now in the championship because after this race, you pretty much now extended your championship lead by I think by uh, what was it by 8? No, no, you extended by 7 points I think because Ramsey got fastest lap. So I think now the gap's like 28 points. Um, but yeah, how do you think you will do next week at Singapore? Um, no, sorry, sorry, not Singapore, Australia. I'm sorry, yeah, I had to correct myself. I don't know why I keep having Singapore in my head. Anyway, to be well, I mean, you two have showed your dominance throughout the entire season. I've kind of called it the Alpine Golden Clash show because it's pretty much what it's been throughout the entire season. But Well, congratulations though on your race win, and yeah, wish you luck for next week at Melbourne, and yeah, we'll see how it goes around there. Of course, it's sprints, like I mentioned, so gonna make things a little bit more interesting, of course. All right, well, take care. Thank you. Yeah. All right, and we got Carson. Also, Carson, do you want to move to the? Thank goodness I have a PlayStation person in here. Do you want to move to the PlayStation side of things? I'll invite you if we can do that. Ah, damn it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I get everybody's audio. I'm just trying my best, of course, because I know I haven't been the greatest with the interviews. It's just been so difficult with so many PC players. Alright, well, I'll do the best I can. But anyway, yeah, P3 for you. You qualified P3 and finished P3, even though you had a bit of an incident where you spun at turn 9, but managed to recover well. And yeah, got the podium up, got the podium, and yeah, it was a well done result for you. I think this is your first podium, if I'm not mistaken. If you, well, there you go. Um, yeah, how was it for you there overall then? Mm, mm. Well, what ways did you? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Oh yeah, if you had them in the dry, then yeah, you would have been a sitting duck on the straights. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I did quite notice that. Yeah, that I noticed on your telemetry and you had a yellow fuel icon on your well on your telemetry, so I figured you were underfueled the car of some sort. What did you have it at the start? Like, how much fuel did you have? Hmm. Yeah, right. Huh, okay. Well, I thought I heard someone come in. Anyway, anyway, next week, as I kind of asked the two Alpine drivers, next week we head to Melbourne for, of course, not just a normal Grand Prix, but of course we got another sprint. I think this will be the last one as well. How do you think you'll do around Melbourne? Haven't tried it yet, eh? Okay. Well, I mean, I know it's a bit of a interesting little track, but we'll see how it goes for you, I guess. But otherwise, congratulations on your P3, or maybe soon to be P2 if you do get the penalties removed. And yeah, no problem. And yeah, I think that will wrap it all up in what has been a bit of an interesting sort of race here at Suzuka. Not the most exciting race until the very end in some sorts, but yeah, we had a bit of action here and there. But yeah, thank you for watching, of course, and apologies again with the YouTube stream. Of course, that there was just a little bit of technical difficulties. Thankfully, we had the Twitch at least still, the Twitch still running. So, yeah. But we'll get the rest of the race uploaded to the YouTube channel hopefully soon. But until then, I have been K1997. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you back again for round 11 of the championship at the Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne, Australia for the Australian Grand Prix. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.